Hello, folks. So, let's speak about the month of March today. If you prefer to read about the overall trends, I have posted already on my website. So, have a look there. So, let's get into this. Now, what's happening in March? So in March, we're going to have some carryover energy from February. We have the two ongoing conjunctions, right, at the moment. One is Sun and Saturn in Aquarius, and the other is Mars and Venus in Capricorn. Both Saturn's signs. So a lot of energy going into the karmic fields this month again. Also, if you have planets situated between 15 to 20 degrees, you'll be impacted by these conjunctions, especially if those planets are in movable or fixed signs. We also have the beginning of the eclipse cycles. They continue to occur in the 6-12 axis, Virgo, Pisces. Themes of health, healing, debts, loans, illnesses, disputes, but also spiritual pilgrimages, foreign moves, letting go of old chapters that don't serve us anymore. And also, and of course, pay attention to dreams. Rahu transiting Pisces can bring some very prophetic dreams. I personally had quite a few, and I've been writing them down, so pay attention there. So it depends on where this axis falls in your chart. You'll experience this, right? So if you're Aries, Rahu is naturally falling in your 12th house. So see where it falls. Ketu in Virgo. Ketu in Virgo is actually a fairly good placement. It will dissolve the difficult 6th house significations that I mentioned, like debts, illnesses, without much effort. For instance, if you're the type of person that likes to fight, you're going to lose interest in that at this time. If you were afraid of moving to a faraway land, you may be curious about doing that at this time. If you are normally afraid of trusting yourself and taking chances, you may learn to do that at this time. The Mars-Venus conjunction for the first week of March can bring structure and stability in career, in money matters. On March the 7th, Venus is going to move into Aquarius, and Mercury is going to move into Pisces, its sign of debility. Venus does well in Aquarius. It can bring gains. It can help you find another source of income. It's going to help with meeting some of your goals, writing down your goals, accomplishing your tasks. It's good for connecting with old friends and networks. Mercury goes from being in Rahu sign of Aquarius to sharing space with Rahu in Pisces on March the 7th. Mercury in Pisces will be with Rahu, and normally this conjunction of Mercury and Rahu is actually quite good. These are two planets that actually work well together. It's normally good for making decisions, being crafty, maneuvering, and finding ways of, making money, finding ways of getting things done your way. It's also good for speech. But with Mercury in debility, it's going to bring opportunities to take shortcuts in your dealings with others. You can also see manipulative behavior in others at this time. It can also result in miscommunications, unclear thinking. Now, the first big event of the month, because we always look at the moon cycles to understand what's happening. because that's what the moon and the sun cycles are, what determine the flavor of the month. Yeah. So the first event with the moon, with the new moon in Aquarius in Purvabhadra, is on March the 10th. This is a powerful new moon cycle. Both Jupiter and Saturn are strongly placed at this time, and Saturn is further boosted at this time, right? Because Venus is close by in Aquarius. It's just entered Aquarius. So it's an excellent cycle for networking, business deals, investments. It can be a good time to make new friends, new networks, to increase your networks, to meet people that will be instrumental to you. Whatever you undertake now will have a long-lasting effect at this new moon cycle. Mars and Saturn aspect Aries, and with Jupiter there, if there was anything that you wanted to start, now is the time. New chapter in your life, new job, new project, new business, new relationship. Start of the chapter can happen very quickly, very suddenly, and can ensure longevity as well. With dignified placements of all the slow-moving planets, it's a time that you can achieve success. Mars then moves into Aquarius, where it's going to join Saturn and Venus. And that's going to make the transit a little bit more complex. Yeah. This happens on March the 16th. You can see quick progress in areas that are related to Rahu, with Mars, Saturn, and Venus sitting in Aquarius, Rahu's sign. The momentum will pick up now. Though at this time, Venus and Saturn, of course, are stronger than Mars, right? Because they have more of an affinity with where they're situated in Aquarius. So the Mars impulse will be curbed at this time. There might be some frustrations and blocks as well. But if you're patient and you're strategic, you can solve problems that come along. Yeah. Solutions will present themselves to you, though you may want to time your action, right? Because Mars is moving towards a conjunction with Saturn. On March the 15th, Sun moves into Pisces and stays till April the 13th. This is normally a good place for the Sun as it performs well in Pisces. It's near its exaltation, which is Aries. With Rahu, however, in Pisces, it's more complex transit. It's going to fuel your ambition with that Sun-Rahu combination. You can also overlook details now because that, Mercury is also there, right? So wait till Mercury leaves Pisces before you make any big commitments, I would say. With concentration of energy in Jupiter and Saturn's signs, it's a good month to make progress and steer ahead with your goals and your ambitions. March 25th, we have another notable event, and that is the lunar eclipse in Virgo in Hasta. We have a Gandant, debilitated Mercury, sending its 7th aspect to the eclipse at this time. Mercury is at the very, very end of Pisces when the eclipse takes place. So, very important to listen before expressing yourself at this time, okay? You can say the wrong things. You can regret it later. There's going to be miscommunications from others as well, so be patient. We also have the 8th aspect of Mars on this eclipse. So with this 8th aspect, you may be faced with a challenge, an unexpected challenge, but you're going to have the resources to overcome it. There is a distinct conflict now with that Mercury in Pisces, in Gandanta. There's a distinct conflict now between your emotions and your rational thinking. The breakthroughs that appear now from the external world will make it easy for you to take a firm direction if you can't decide how to navigate yourself. Yeah. So pay attention to omens. Omens at this time will be very helpful if you pay attention. So you have to silence your mind a little bit in order to do that. Hours after this eclipse, on March 25th itself, Mercury moves into Aries, promising fresh starts. It's like that feeling of, I'm almost there, but not quite, but I can feel it. So you just have to push through and not get stuck in your head and not question yourself. Right? Doubts can come at this time easily, and they can cloud your judgment. You can see that new chapter wanting to begin. But because of Mercury's upcoming retrograde transit in early April, you'll be going back and forth with beginnings and endings. And there'll be a final culmination on May the 10th, when Mercury reaches back to that spot in the beginning of Aries. The very last day of the month, finally, March the 31st, we see Venus going into Pisces, into exaltation. Here, Venus will join Sun and Rahu, though. Sun for part of the transit only. Venus in Pisces will accentuate learning new subjects, overseas travel, buying luxury items, spiritual inclinations. This transit will peak next month in April. So we'll talk about it further then. Overall, it's an eventful month. Unexpected opportunities can also show up in your life at this time, so pay attention to that. So that's all for now. All the best, folks. Cheers.